Welcome to Brain Alpha. Have you ever looked at those super high achievers, the ones who just seem to create amazing work, and wondered, what's their secret? It's not just about talent or working crazy long hours. It's about a very specific method called deep work. It's all about changing how you work to unlock this huge well of productivity. So let's dive in and see how it's done. We've all had those days, right? You're at it all day, answering emails, jumping between meetings. You're exhausted by the end. But when you look back, you feel like you got nothing truly important done. It's like you're just spinning your wheels. It's a super frustrating feeling, and honestly, it's a huge problem in our always-on world. Okay, to really see what's happening here, let's just imagine two people. Let's call them worker A and worker B. So worker A puts in a typical 8-hour day. But, they're constantly getting distracted, checking their phone, notifications popping up. Their focus is maybe around 30%. But then you have worker B. They only work for 4 hours, but in that time, they are completely zoned in, hitting a 90% focus level. So what's the end result? Well, it all boils down to a pretty simple formula. Your output is the time you spend multiplied by your level of concentration. For worker A, that's 8 hours times a 0.3 focus, which gives them an output of 2.4. But worker B, that's 4 hours times a 0.9 focus, giving them a score of 3.6. Think about that. Worker B is producing 50% more value in half the time. This just perfectly shows you the power of deep focus over just being busy. Okay, so if concentration is the key, why is it so darn hard to achieve? The problem isn't that you're lazy, and it's not that you just don't have enough willpower. The real issue is that most of us just completely misunderstand how our brain's energy actually works. Let's use an analogy that might make a lot of sense. Think of your brain's ability to focus like a magic points bar, an MP bar from a video game. Every single morning when you wake up from a good night's sleep, that bar is at 100%. It's totally full. That's your peak mental resource for the entire day. And this is the big catch, every single little thing you do starts to chip away at that MP bar. Scrolling through social media, glancing at notifications, replying to texts, even tiny decisions like what should I wear or what should I eat for breakfast, all of them are spending your precious mental energy. You might not even have started your most important task yet, and your MP bar could already be halfway gone.
And this is the point that trips almost everybody up. We think that scrolling social media or playing a quick game on our phone is a break. It feels relaxing, right? But to your brain, it's still work. It's still processing information and using up your attention. That MP bar is draining away, whether you feel it or not.
All right, so we get the problem. Our mental energy is just leaking out all day long. So what's the fix? Let's get right into the blueprint for how you can protect your focus and actually point it at the things that really, truly matter. So to get into that state of deep work, you have to create the right conditions. And there are 3 rules that are pretty much non-negotiable. First, you have to use your morning hours. That's when your MP bar is at its absolute peak. Second, you have to completely isolate yourself. No phone, no people, no distractions. None. And third, you have to make it a routine, so it becomes an automatic habit. And please remember this because it's super important. The goal here isn't to just grit your teeth and force yourself to focus with sheer willpower. Honestly, that's a battle you're going to lose. The real goal is to design an environment where focusing is the easiest option. It's about getting rid of every possible distraction, so your brain doesn't really have a choice but to focus on what's in front of you. So once you've got those basic conditions set up, then you can start adding some pro-level techniques to really supercharge your focus and just take your performance to a whole new level. The first and maybe the most important tip is to know the difference between deep work and shallow work. Shallow work is all that low-effort stuff, like answering emails or organizing files. Yeah, it has to get done, but it doesn't really create new value. Deep work, on the other hand, is the hard stuff. Writing, strategizing, coding, solving complex problems. You have to dedicate your high MP morning hours to deep work. You save the shallow stuff for later when your energy is low. Next, you've got to hack your environment. Create a space, it can even be just a tiny corner of a room, that is used only for deep work. This literally trains your brain to flip the focus switch the second you sit down there. And make sure your commute to this space is 0. Working from home is perfect for this. Try using white noise or some lo-fi music, anything without lyrics to block out noise. And this one is huge. Schedule a specific time later in the day to check your phone. Get it out of sight, out of mind during your deep work time. Okay, now for a tip that is going to sound completely backwards. When it's time to take a break, what's the best way to recharge your mental batteries? It's not checking your phone, it's not reading the news. The most productive break you can take is doing absolutely nothing at all. No, I'm serious. On your next break, just sit there quietly, stare out the window, just be still. When you disconnect from all the external noise, you finally give your brain a chance to actually rest and recover its MP. Grabbing your phone is the exact opposite. It's like running a sprint during your water break in a marathon. It just drains you even more. So, you've got the blueprint, you've got the pro tips. How do you make this a permanent part of your life? Well, you turn it into a challenge, a 30-day challenge specifically, to forge this new habit of focus. So why 30 days? Is that just some random number? Nope. It's about how long it takes to build a new neural pathway in your brain. Right now, your brain might be wired for distraction, but with consistent practice, every single day, no exceptions, you start to carve a new path, a superhighway for deep, sustained focus. And here's what you can probably expect on this journey. On day one, like you see here, even just 15 minutes of focus is going to feel really hard. And that's totally normal. But stick with it, because by day 7, your ability to focus for longer will start to naturally increase. And by day 30, the habit becomes automatic. The whole process starts to feel almost effortless. You've literally built a new normal for yourself. So the real takeaway here is this. You aren't just building a habit for a month. You're fundamentally rewiring your brain. You're constructing a brand new road inside your head that's built for elite-level focus. So the real question isn't whether you can do it. The real question is, once you have this superpower, where is it going to take you? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.